Number one, Max accidentally mixed 56 turnip seeds with 78 cabbage seeds. Since the two seeds look nearly identical, he must now choose one randomly to plant. Which of the following is the probability that he will choose a turnip seed? All right, so there's 56 turnip seeds, and we got to, for the total, add the 56 plus the 78, 134. You want a decimal, so divide the top by the bottom. 0.42. Okay, now number two. Flip a coin 3 times. Oops. Heads or tails. There's one flip. Heads or tails, heads or tails. Heads or tails, heads or tails. First flip, second flip, third flip. List them all as ordered triples. Well, it's what we got to do. So heads, heads, heads. Heads, heads, tails. Heads, tails, heads. Heads, tails, tails. And now we're done with the first heads here. So we got tails, heads, heads. Tails, head, tails. Tails, tails, heads. Tails, tails, tails. All right. Probability all heads. 1 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Exactly 2 heads. Well, there's one. There's one. There's one. And that's it. 3/8. All heads or all tails. Now with or, we got to subtract out overlap, but there's no overlap, so it's just 2 over 8, which reduces down to a 4. Now, number 3, a suburban high school has a population of 1,376 students. The number of students who participate in sports is 649. The number who participate in music is 433. If the probability that a student participates in either sports or music, what is the probability that they are in both sports and music? Now, this is actually probability sports or music, probability sports plus the probability of music minus the overlap, sports and music. But oddly enough, we didn't do one like this, but we're looking for this variable right here. We actually know this one, the or is 974 over 1376. Sports 649 over 1376. Music 433. Minus the one that we want, the and. So we'll add those. They're on the same side. 649 plus 433 is 1,082. So I'm going to subtract this. 974 minus 1,082 is negative 108. And then you can't have a negative probability, but you divide those both by negative 1. It changes the sign. That one was a little different because we were actually looking for the overlap and we knew the or. But just different algebra at the end. All right. The probability that a resident of a housing community opposes spending money for community improvement on plumbing issues is 0.8. So we'll say that's the probability of opposing plumbing. The probability that a resident favors spending money on improving walkways, given that the resident opposes spending money on plumbing issues, is 0.85. And for that, we'll just say walkways, W, given opposing plumbing. Determine the probability that a randomly selected resident opposes money on plumbing and favors walkways is what we're looking for. So this is a little different. We're looking for the and. Now, when we go to the given conditional probability, the formula, the second one is on the bottom. So the way we have it, walkways in favor given they oppose plumbing is equal to in favor of walkways and opposing plumbing all over probability of opposing plumbing. This time, I know that's 0.85. I'm looking for the and we know that the probability of opposing the plumbing, the bottom, is 0.8. So all we got to do, multiply. .68. Now on 5 here, the given the conditional probability, brown eyes given you have blonde hair. This time we are going to have to use the formula. We're going to find the and multiply it by the blonde overall. So brown eyes and blonde hair is 0.10. Excuse me, I said multiply, I meant divide by the second one from the formula right there. The overall probability for blonde hair, 0.35. Divide those. We'll round that just 2 decimal places, 0.29. Red hair, given green eyes, probability of red and green, 0.15, all over the total for green, 0.25. You divide those, 0.60. Now, well, we got to total this one up. $85 plus 76 is 161. 62 plus 54. I'm just adding these down here. Now we'll add across. Now for the overall total, we'll add those two up. And then if you want to check the bottom just to make sure you've done it, that's a good way to check to see if you've made any little mistakes. And I added these, got 696. So we're good. Probability, sports, given female. So I know I've picked a female, so we're at a 334. Sports is 39. 39 divided by 334, since it says nearest 10th of a percent, 0.1. Probability of male given shopping. Well, here's shopping, so that's 139. And then the male's 68. 0.5. Nope, 10th of a percent, my bad. Here, this one was, pop that over twice, 11.7%. I was just going with the decimals here. And this decimal is 0.4892, so on. Pop it over twice. 48.9%. There we go. Number 7. There's a spinner with 12 equal areas, numbered 1 through 12. If the spinner is spun one time, what is the probability that the result is a multiple of 4 or a multiple of 6? Now, look, you can use the formula, the probability multiple of 4 plus a multiple of 6, their overlap would be 12. So there's 5 total. Subtract one of them out for the overlap. So you could do that with a formula. This wouldn't be too bad to just kind of reason it out just like we did there. 4 plus. Reduce that down, 1/3. All right. Number 8. The guidance department has reported that of the senior class, 2.3% are members of Key Club, 8.6% in AP Physics, and 1.9 are in both. Determine the probability of P given K. So that's the probability of P and K, 1.9, divided by the second one, K. Nearest 10th of a percent. Pop it over twice. The next numbers are 0, 82.6%. Principal would like a basic interpretation of this results. Write a statement. All that is, if you pick a student that you know is in Key Club, there is an 82% chance that they are in AP Physics. 82.6% chance. That's just the formula. Now, number 9, rolling a standard 6-sided die. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need one more 6. And flipping a fair quarter. Heads or tails. 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 What is the probability of prime number and heads? 1 is prime. 2 is prime. 3 is prime. 4 is not. 5 is. 6 isn't. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2/3. All right. So now we got to total this up. That's an 11. 24. Both ways works out to be 24. What is the probability that a student chosen randomly from the class plays a sport and an instrument? Sport, instrument, 9 out of 24. That could be reduced down to 3/8. Now, same thing here, 11, 9, 12, and 8. So they total up to 20. What is the probability that a student passed the test given they did not complete the homework? Did not complete the homework, 8 total. 3 of them passed the test.